Well, Brian Split of AgMarket.net joining us now. Brian, on Thursday, we got another look at weekly export sales. Is that what fueled the soybean market on Thursday?
Ty, I think so. The sales were not really better than expected in the sense of the trade estimates pre-report. So, you get estimates of a low end estimate and upper end estimate. It was kind of in the middle of that, but with old crop and new crop combined, it was yet another week of over 1 million tons of soybeans that were sold. And as we get into this stage of the marketing year, this is typically when we should start to see the amount of soybeans of old crops sold start to wind down. But yet we had the drought in Brazil, so we're still seeing purchases of U.S. soybeans, and we're definitely ahead of the pace that we need to be running at to hit the USDA target. So I think a lot of this is some pre-report buying, thinking that once the USDA releases those balance sheets, that they will show an increase in soybeans for export, thereby reducing the old crop balance sheet here.
Well, speaking of that report that will come out later today, if we are ahead of the export pace right now, is the trade watching to see how much of an adjustment USDA will make?
Yeah, absolutely. They have to be, because when you think about what we're going to be focusing on over the next 2 to 3 months, and fast forward a month down the road, we're going to get our first new crop balance sheet. And after the quarterly stock and the planting intention report, we had a very bearish soybean report because of the acres, came in larger than expected. And the market really shrugged that off. And not to say it shrugged it off, because we were sharply lower that day, but we made a low the next day. And here we've been going back up since. And so I think the trade is saying, okay, we've probably seen the worst case scenario for the acreage estimate for new crop beans. But now we need to go back to focusing on the old crop, because whatever the old crop carryout is reduced by is going to come right off the top of that new crop estimate next month. So we got to figure out what we're going to see from the USDA. The pace of exports does suggest that we're going to reduce our old crop carryout even further. We're going to have a tight scenario going into our new crop, and that's just going to put that much more importance on the crop that we're growing this year.
All right, thanks, Brian. Let's take a quick break, and then we will have a check of weather next.
To contact Brian Split at Ag Market, call 844-4AG Market or visit their website at www.agmarket.net.